Okay, good morning.
And we're just going to go over very quickly Shin Samach Hey Gimel, just to make it a little bit clearer. It's a bit of a technical sif. Mavoi shenifrat mulo lechotzer. Now we're talking about the Mavoi, which is befulish to Rishus Harabim. Now what if it's nifrat? Sorry, nifrat. It wasn't that it opened up to a chotzer. Nifrat to chotzer mitzal sheni Rishus Harabim, and the chotzer is open to Rishus Harabim. So the question is the Mavoi considered befulish to Rishus Harabim or not? If they didn't do an Eruv, then the Shulchan Aruch is going to start mixing in with stuff which is going to get to the next siman, about Eruvin, about the Rizarvos making an Eruv. If they didn't do an Eruv, Chotzer mutter, the Chotzer is mutter. The problem with the Mavoi is a problem because it's considered befulish to Rishus Harabim, but the Chotzer can have a pirza, and it's still considered a Chotzer. So the Chotzer mutter. If they didn't do an Eruv, the Chotzer is mutter. I feel nifrat naked pirtzas a Mavoi, even if it's direct, they can see from the Mavoi straight out. It's still doesn't answer the Chotzer. I feel a baki berabim. As long as the pirza over there is not more than Eser. If it's more than Eser, then it's a Pesach, something like that. The Mavoi is also feeling a negative pirtzas a Chotzer, and the Mavoi is also wherever it is, because you need to put a tikkun there. And also, since the Chotzer didn't do an Eruv with the Mavoi, so then it's asers because it's also this, we're going to get into ideas of derech echad al sheni that we're going to get into later simanim, that if one has to cross to the other one. If we're going shenichasu kosle amavoi b'chadzer be'in she'en gipupin di shenisharu, here we're talking about a case where the wall of the mavoi go into the chadzer a little bit. Be'in she'en gipupin shenisharu b'chadzer near in the misha'amim b'mavoi, that the bits of wall left by the other side of Rishus Harabim of the chadzer, they don't see it. Well, nearing, but if they can, the Mavoi can see it, then it's considered a heker, and that would be okay. It's a lechi umuter. Im eruv b'nei achotzer b'nei Mavoi. Let's say they did do an eruv, a pirza shebe Mavoi l'chotzer, and there's a pirza between the Mavoi and the chotzer. Elu mitzad hachotzer. If the pirza is not it's on the side of the chotzer. The pirtzas the chotzer mitzad sheni. Elu mechuvanim taking the pirtzas on Mavoi. If they're not directly opposite each other. That pirza shebemavoi l'chol enu mitzad hachotzer, that it's not on the side. That if it was on the side, it wouldn't be such a problem, because then it's not so apparent that it's like a big opening to Rishus Harabim. It's sort of on the side of the chotzer, and even the thing is on the side of the chotzer, but it says that it looks like Mavoi Orach Chaim Rishus Harabim. So therefore, this is. So then that would be more of an issue. Alkopanim, pirtzas achotzer mitzad hasheni she'enim mechuvanos l'knei pirtzas hamavoi achotzer sharabim, and there's a bunch of people in the chotzer. Gam hamavoi muter, then the mavoi is also muter if it's straight across. So therefore, the het, if it's not straight across, then the heter of the chotzer will go ahead and matter the mavoi. The Eruv there, about imlo Eruv, they didn't do an Eruv. Oh, afilo Eruv, a pirtzas the chotzer l'mavoi mitzidoi, and the pirtzas of the chotzer to the mavoi is on the side. So therefore, it's open on the side. Oh, afilu be'emtza chotzer, or it's in the middle of the chotzer, pirtzas the chotzer mitzad hasheni kinegda, and then the what's it called? The opening on the other side is opposite it. Or feel in a connecta, if it's not opposite, a chotzer hu shel yachid, it's just a chotzer of a yachid, also, then everything becomes also, the mavoi becomes also. Right. Either because it's again, if the chotzer is a good chotzer, so then that would help. But if it's none of these tanaim works, that that we're talking that it's if it looks like you can see straight into Rishus Harabim, or the chotzer there's a pirza in the chotzer by one wall, or by the side, and therefore it's not like a Pesach. It's just like that does cause problems for the chotzer, or if the chotzer shel yachid that we don't say like we'll get into the area of yachid. We're gonna get into that more. That as Shabbat says the Shema Yimlach Yiv the Batim Bereich of a Chotzer. Maybe he'll put more houses, and then it's Mavi Nifrat. Whatever. It also causes more issues because the Yachid can decide to go ahead and to do other things. It's not the shlita of the Bnei Mavoi. The Nifrat's a Rachva Pchusa Misasayim, and if the other side is open to an area which is less than Sasayim, or Yoser al Sasayim Hukaf Ladira, or we're talking like a field or whatever it is, a karpaf, if it's all Yester Sasayim and it's Hukaf Ladira, Dino Kilo Nifrat L'chotzer, that's also considered Nifrat L'chotzer, and it's not straight to Rishus Harabim, the same didn't apply, but in Yoser al Sasayim, Lo Hukaf Ladira, Havi Kilo Nifrat L'karmelis, V'tzarech Tikkun, that's like a Nifrat L'karmelis, it's a din of a karmelis, and therefore you need Tikkun. Mutter l'ishtamesh tachas hakoyra k'neged halachi. In a mavoi, when you put a koyra halachi, you're allowed to use the space underneath there. Hani mili b'pasuach l'rishus harabim. That's where something to rishus harabim, because there the heker is lechis mitam mechitza, things like that. But pasuach l'karmelis, however, if it's open to a karmelis, also bein tachas akar bein tachas bein keneged halechi, it's also they should start the karmel she'etzlo shematzu bin esmino v'neor. That the issue is that under the lechi, even though it's a din. It's funny. By Rishus Harabim, we say there's a heker. So there's a heker right here. I'm not going to go ahead and carry out into Rishus Harabim. However, even if the heker is by karmelis, problem is the idea by the idea by Rishus Derabanan is that they're all mitzaref, and therefore you wouldn't be allowed to use it because the karmelis kilo extends underneath it. Even though you can use the makom under the kaira, we shouldn't sit with something in his hand. Maybe he'll drop it and go and lean over and take it and bring it back towards him. Since he's sitting by the edge, there's no heker. Well, a Pesach HaChotzer, if he's sitting a Pesach HaChotzer to Rishus Harabim, that's mutter, Bein Pesach Rishus Harabim, Pesach HaKarmis, Sheish Bo, Hekera, because, over there there is a heker, that he won't come to go ahead and carry. And that's I wasn't really sure. Oh, does he mean no? Here we're talking about a Pesach. By a chotzer could be a chotzer. He knows he's in a chotzer. He's not. It's more clear.
He's under a korah, which the whole point of the korah is it should be a heker, and it's not a heker.
Well, that's the whole chiddush, is that even though it's that a person can stand under the korah, but he should do a kavua. But I'm saying a person that hashmish arai or whatever, he sits there, does something under the korah, it's still, that area is still okay to go ahead and to it's sort of under the heker, like you said. But with Ramata, you could go ahead and do some stuff underneath it. However, if a person sits there kavua, then he might, he won't see it, and therefore he would, he might drop something. But if he's just putting something down over there, or whatever it is, that would be that would be okay, because it's still technically within the Mavoi, even though he doesn't see the hecker so much, but that would be fine.
For Lechi, I understand, but for Korah has to be on top of the walls.
Right.
Of the Mavoi.
But you see it, but that's the point. The point is you see it.
When it opens up to Carmelist, we say Matzaminas Mina. Why? You're in the.
No, because I think it has to be it has to be on the walls, but it has to be at the very edge. So therefore, under that very edge, the problem is, right, you have to have a hecker. So you would think, if you're standing underneath it, you don't have you don't have a hecker. And it's true. So, the Chazal were matir, tashmish arai, to put something there, or whatever, because it's technically in the Mavoi. But really it's like, beyond, it's not nikar over there, so that's why there's a bit of therefore if it's open to a Carmelist, it's beyond the Mavoi. So therefore it's like something like a no man's land a little bit. Well, that's the chiddush, but there's no hecker. It's underneath the hecker. So therefore, you're sort of like not be like the whole point is you see it, but you're not really seeing it. So therefore, it's sort of a no man's land. So the Chachamim matter it, but that's only with Shusarabi. With Carmelists, really, there's nothing to do because it's that place technically is also just the Chachamim matter it for like a tashmish arai, something like that. Women who were sitting by the Pesach the Mavoi and with their baskets or their pitchers, things like that, and they're sitting schmoozing, whatever they're doing. We don't make a machar here in the media the Rabbananu mutar shushaygos lo mazidos that they're going to go ahead and do it anyway. Yeah, I never really understood why Nashim Dafka they're going to do mizidos and these types of things, but it could be that they don't understand the Chumas Isser or something like that. And, whatever, it's fine, just here for a few minutes. Most men also, but
the same thing.
A lot of
someone can't appreciate it, not going to respond.
Right, so but that could be right. So that's like anyone who's like that. You're right. I guess it sort of depends on the. I guess in general, women were, since they're less, they don't have such a structure with mitzvahs and stuff. They have much less mitzvahs and they're less structure. So you tell them something like it's a little bit more hazy, so that it's could be the more heter things like everything. Not all women, obviously, but there's more of a tzad and they can be more heter, not understand. Not that they don't understand it, but there won't be as medactic in it, so it's a bit harder. I don't know exactly.
The Rav explains that it's a category of type of person.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's not specifically women. It's someone, right?
Person could be also.
Listen, the time of the Balei Tosas talk about the fact that women didn't know Lashon Kodesh and they didn't teach them much to bench. So so things their chinuch was a bit different. Whatever, so therefore it could be that's like you said, it's a general klal, that's that category, but I'm Shia Inyan. Mavoi shenatlu koreisav or l'chayav b'Shabbos, a mavoi that the things that were taken away, they fell off on Shabbos, avabi shehuter b'Xos Shabbos, even though it was mutter for part of Shabbos, also b'Shavelach, nothing to do, the air falls down. You don't say, it's only din d'Rabbanan. I'm talking about suddenly it turns into Rishus Rabban Daraisa. The Rishus Rabban Daraisa, their walls, and they blow up the walls. I'm talking about that, but I'm talking about the Eruv, the Isser to carry on without an Eruv. You don't say, since it was mutter for part, it was mutter, Vaiter, Ben Pasuach, the Rishus Harabim, Ben Pasuach, the Carmelis, whether it's open to Rishus Harabim or open to a Carmelis. Again, that's only an ear which is a kefes chamer. Like I said, so there's no din. It's just the shaila of Eruvin and Eruvin Chatzeros and Gzeros Rabbanon. But the ear kefes chamer mutter, right? So that's if it's not kefes chamer, but if it's kefes chamer, then there's one ear for the whole city. That even though everyone has different smaller Eruvin. but technically that would be mutter, meaning if it's not Rishus Harabim, then it could be there's a tzada that would be, it would be mutter. If you can be samich on this, that since there's a general chayma around, even though you have internal Eruvin, even I guess for example, if you have they used to do, so this is the thing, this is the Nakuda, even though they had one big Eruv, one big wall surrounding the city, but Tikkun the Shabbat explains, Tikkun Amobi Loya Ela Kadei Stalik Tiyuri Hanachri Me'alehan. It was ways of splitting up in order to exclude different people from the Eruv. So you won't have problems. We'll see when we're getting up to, well, who's going to ask for someone else, Bittul Rishus, things like that. So if they're able to go ahead and set up things, make mechitzas, this guy's out, this guy's this, in order to set up a proper Eruv. So if there's walls around the whole, or let's say that, let's say it's not Rishus Harabim and there's an Eruv around the whole city, so it's a Pesach or not, so then let's say you have a smaller Eruv within and that falls down, then that, once that's mutter for Parah Shabbos, and the Ram says you can be samach on that for the rest of Shabbos. Not that you have the city Eruv and the city Eruv falls down. Because that's like, that's kilo, it's not Matmuk of Choma, and that would cause a problem, that would be a carmelus. That's where it was roy to be there the whole Shabbos. If it's something which is going to fall down before Shabbos, or it's going to be strong winds, or you puts it up and he knows that the city doesn't let it, so that if they see it, they're going to cut it down, whatever it is. Also, the achar shenistar, it's also to go ahead, it's also can't be samachada after it falls down. In Suffolk, in Nistar Me'er Shabbos Allah, we don't know if it will fall down. Azlin Lakula, that it's okay, to go ahead, but when they say the Eruv's down, usually it doesn't mean, like for instance around here, they go ahead and they put the Turas of Pesach here, every section, it's like a sectional Eruv, the Mahadran Eruv at least, there's different sections, so if one falls, the other one's are going to be okay. But in the case where there's a general Eruv around, so that would, even if it fell, that small one fell down, if you had a proper cheshbon, it's going to cause Isser or whatever, you'd be still allowed to carry, unless that Eruv was a very shvach Eruv, was a very shaky one. Mavoi shenishtatru bo v'nishbar ha'kaira, it says the sheet of Mavoi and the Korah breaks. Oisa chatzer shar Eruv munach bo, v'chatzeres absuchos lo mutaros. Any of the chatzer which is pasuch to the Mavoi, they're still mutter. V'chatzeres she'em psuchos lo also chatzer, with the place where the Eruv is sitting. But the chatzeros which are only open to the Mavoi, not to that chatzer, asuros, because the whole point of the sheet of Mavoi is that they'll be able to carry through the Mavoi to the other chatzer where the Eruv is sitting. But if other chatzeros are open to that, so they can just carry straight, so that would be okay. But if the Mavoi becomes a problem, then it leaves the other people, the other chatzeros stranded, from having, an Eruv. We're going to see what the difference is. We're going to see what the slight difference is. The kids say we're going to get into this is the sheet of Mavos means that you can carry within you can go using like a side street, whatever it is, a Mavoi to go from one chotzer to the other chotzer. Eruv chotzer, so even within one chotzer, if you have different people, you have to make an Eruv so we carry from one house to the other. A shituf makes everything fine. The whole neighborhood. You can do a shituf if it's a Mavoi. But Eruv Chatzeros would only be is more specific to a Chatzer. Nafkaminas, the nafkaminas and halacha, there's a few small nafkaminas between how you set one up or not. It's just really called just two different things. It depends what you're trying to. What we're
saying is that even when the Mavoi falls away, that anyone is still connected that Chatzer is still.
Right, because it's still considered, the Eruv is still an Eruv. Alright, it's just, technically the Bechitzas fell down. So you can't get there. If a bomb fell, destroyed. You can't walk there. Nothing to do. But that's the din mechitzas. Now Shin Samach Vav. Let's just start a little bit of it. Now we finished Hilchos Mechitzos and the physical construction of Eruvin. Now the Shulchan Aruch gets on to the simanim of actual Eruv. The Rambam himself puts Mechitzos in Hilchos Shabbos, and Eruvin meaning Hilchos, the halachas of who can be ma'arev and who has to be ma'arev and goyim and bittul rishus, all that stuff into Hilchos. That's called Hilchos Eruvin, and that's where we're starting right now. Chotzer shar harbi bateim psuchim l'seichoi, a chotzer that has a bunch of houses open to it. Also chachayim l'tautel mi bateim l'chotzer ad she'arba. They can't carry from one house into the chotzer until you do an eruv. Meaning technically it's a rishus yachid, it's 100% fine, but the chayim asked it. The hainu shegoyivim pas v'kol bayis v'bayis noisim v'soi be'echa mi batei chatzeros, that they take a little bit of bread from every house and they stick it into one into one of the houses in the Chotzer. Shedei kach anu roin kilu kulav darim be'osabayis. The way the Eruv works is that we look at kilu, everyone lives in one house. Ukilu kol Chotzer miyuchad osabayis. Everyone, this is like, well, it's just, these are all just like guest houses or side houses or whatever. We're all part of one house, and therefore the Eruv makes into one big happy family, so to speak. That's the point of an Eruv. We'll get into exactly how much pass, but that gets into it weiter. Yeshiv olim o sukkos, if you have an encampment, o machane shekifua mechitza, and you put a wall around some sort of encampment, metaltalin me oil, you can't carry from one oil to another oil, asher arvu kulam, you still need an Eruv. Avo shayara, shekifua mechitza ein tzrichin la'ariv, there's a shayara that sits down for Shabbos and they set up camp. They don't need an Eruv. Yishkulam mu'aravin. They're already mu'aravin. They're already shutzvim in everything. It's also not a kavua encampment. So therefore, that's enough for one Shabbos. They don't need an Eruv because they didn't have to make it possible. That's obviously put mechitza, but pas and stuff like that already is they kill mu'arav before Shabbos. If you have a cruise ship and there are different cabins, then they also need an Eruv. Even though, the boat has mechitzas, however, they still need an Eruv between the cabins. If there's no mechitzas, if there's no guardrail, whatever, some sort of barge, I don't know, whatever it is. Also, the talto of a svina rak arba amos, then the svina, obviously if it's big, obviously it's not talking about little rafts, it's a big one. You can't be metalto only arba amos, it's like a carmelis. So I in the Kabbalah, so some Shimpei Beis to get into more those issues, and we'll stop here. Okay, we'll stop here.